back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be continuing my 1 yard or less challenge where I take less than a yard of fabric and kind of make something out of it. But this one will be a little bit different because what I'm taking is some patchwork and I'm going to spice up a jacket that I've just made. So I'll start off with a little pattern review and I'll show you the jacket, and then I'm going to show you how I plan to spice it up, and you'll see the kind of process that I go through trying to figure out how to make it look its best. So this pattern is McCall 7100. It's an older McCall's pattern, definitely over 5 years old. It's a bomber jacket, an unlined bomber jacket. This fabric is from Fabric Mart. It's a gray pebbled coating. I've used it before 4 years ago when I made a named Nuna hood scarf, and I had just enough left to get a bomber out of it. And the other materials, the rib knit on this jacket is a remnant from Joann's, and I'm gonna open it up. I got this zipper from Walmart. The inside of the jacket, like I said, is unlined. I use jersey for the pockets, and I use jersey to line the sleeves to make it easier to get the jacket on and off. And I got the jersey, it was also a remnant from Joann's as well. And I did Hong Kong finishes for the seams on the inside, and I actually hand sewed the rib knit on the inside to give it a clean finish, and I hand sewed the seam allowance of the rib knit on the top as well to give that a clean finish. But it's a very nice looking jacket, but it's a little plain, don't you think? So what I'm going to do is take some patches and see if I can spice it up a little bit. So a couple of years ago on one of my yearly trips to Panama, I was out shopping for fabric and I came across these different patches that I was like, I don't know what to do with these, but I'm gonna buy them. And the type of patches they are called Mola patches, and Mola is a type of design and artistry that is indigenous to Panama. The indigenous Indians, the Kuna Indians, make different Mola items and different Mola designs, and it's just a very Panamanian thing. So I wanted to make a jacket that kind of paid homage to my heritage, so I'm hoping to use some of these Mola patches to make the jacket really pop. The first patch I have is just one that says Panama on it, and then I have this really big one that I'm thinking that I want to put on the back. And then I have these other small little flowers. This one is bigger than the other few. And so I have a green one, a yellow one, and I also have a blue one. And so I don't know if I'm going to use all of them. I kind of have to play around with it, and you'll see that soon. But yeah, these are what I want to, you know, make the jacket stand out, give it some character. So I want to use a picture of the flowers and the birds, but obviously I don't need all this extra white cloth that the design was created on. So I'm going to take a blade and I'm going to go ahead and cut out all of the negative space. decide where I want these patches to go. I told you before, the big patch is going to go on the back of the jacket. So the back will look like that. But my main concern is the front. I'm trying to decide how to lay out the other patches, and I'm not going to use all 4 of these. I'm thinking of just using one because I don't want to overdo it, but I really want to put this Panama patch on here as well. And so I'm thinking to have this here, right? Or have 2 things on the front, maybe. But that's looking too busy, right? That looks too busy. So then I was thinking, oh, maybe just a patch on the front, right? And then putting this patch on the sleeve. I don't know. Or put this here and then do elbow patches. You know, like that. Elbow patches with this here. I'm not sure, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create an Instagram poll, and I'm gonna have people vote and let me know which one they think looks best, because I really don't know. I do like how this looks on the front here, but I don't know if I don't add any other of the small patches, if it makes it too plain, you know? So I'm gonna do an Instagram poll, and then I'm gonna come back and see what they say. Hello, sewing friends, I need help. So a lot of you saw the jacket that I made, and I posted it yesterday, and I want to add the spice that I said I was going to add, so I need help on the placement because I'm really not sure. So for right now, I have this big patch on the back. I know that is going to go there for sure. This is staying here, but it's the front that I'm not too sure about. I have 4 patches. I don't think I'm gonna add all 4, but I know that I want this on there for sure. And so I'm trying to figure out how to mix it up with the front, maybe a sleeve without making it too busy. So I'm gonna post a few picture options, and then I'm gonna put up a poll, and please vote and let me know what you think is the best one. As elbow patches. Okay, so it's not over yet. 2 people sent me in some suggestions that are kind of a variation of option 4. So I'm gonna post those 2 side by side, and I want you guys to vote on those 2, and that's probably what I'm gonna pick. So let me know. So I'm back a few days later, a little more than a few, and the people have spoken. And so this is the configuration that I'm going to use for the front. Nothing on the sleeves. And I'm gonna keep that big piece in the back. Look, this was not my first choice. Don't tell anybody I said that, but I'm gonna go with it because this is what the people want. So now what I need to do is figure out how best to get this on the jacket. I've never done this before, so this is really an experiment. So what I'm thinking is possibly for the back, what I'm hoping is that I can use some liquid stitch, which I have here, but I don't know about it because of this fabric, this wool, and I don't know if liquid stitch works with wool. So I'm going to test it out today and let it dry overnight and see what happens. With this, the same with this patch, but obviously with this patch I'm just going to sew it on. But yeah, like I said, I've never done this before. This is all really trial and error for me. I have a scrap of the wool and I have a scrap of the cotton that this is backed with, and I'm going to try that. So let's see. Okay, the directions say to gently squeeze tube from the bottom, apply glue to wrong side of the fabric with finger, brush, or tube, and position fabrics and let dry for 24 hours. We're gonna look at it tomorrow morning. We ain't gonna give it a whole 24 hours, but let's see. This is an old bottle, and so this may not even work that well. If it doesn't work, I'm going to chalk it up to being old, but so I mean, okay, I'm gonna just let that dry. I'll be back tomorrow.
Several days later.
So it's been more than a few days, and it looks like it has stuck. So the liquid stitch does work really well. So I found this new iron-on instant bond liquid stitch instead of the original, and I think this will actually be better suited for my needs for this particular project. To do the iron-on liquid stitch, and the patch has stayed on pretty well. It's on there, there's no pins or anything. The same with this front patch, there aren't any pins or anything, and it's there. So what I'm going to do is take a single line of thread and just do a quick stitch around the edges of both patches and on the inside little holes, just to secure it even more, basically.
Several days later.
So it's been many days later. I'm chugging along very slowly on this jacket. Why? Don't really know, but here we are again. So I finished putting this patch on the front, stitched all the way around, and now I'm going to stitch around in the holes of this patch on the back.
5 hours later.
So I finished sewing the patches, well, these cloth patches on, and it looks so good. It looks so freaking good. Like, it came from the store. I'm in love with how this looks. It just looks perfect. I love it. So now I want to put the Panama patch on This flower here, this is what the people voted for. Como así. But the thing about this patch is that it has a super like hard plastic backing on it, and so when I was like trying to pin it to the jacket, it was really hard to get my pins in it because the plastic backing was so hard to get through. And so what I'm gonna have to do is use a thimble to actually hand sew this one on. So I already started attaching the patch. It's taking me so long because the plastic is so hard to get through. Plus I'm a slow sewer, so it's not helping. I'm using this thimble that I found in my sewing room. I don't use thimbles, so who knows where I got this. But it doesn't actually fit my finger, it just comes right off. And so I've been stuffing it with just cotton scraps and been using it that way. So between the thimble continuing to fall off, plus it being so hard to push through the plastic, it's taking forever. And I already hate hand sewing, so this is not my favorite thing. But I'm going to spend the next hour, and that's how long I think it's gonna take, and put on the patch, and then the jacket can actually be done. Like, I just want it to be done. So I'll be back in a second. So just about 1 hour later, just like I thought, the patch has been attached. It's on there nice and tight. I didn't glue it on, just sewed it on. And my jacket is done. Finally. So now I'm gonna try to see my other less than a yard video, you can check out this video here. And if you want to see more sewing content, you can check out this video here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.